live to tape.
Welcome to Millennial Season 2, Episode 41. I'm Andrew.
I'm Elisa.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Matt.
Well, here we are, everyone.
Yes.
It is time.
Yes.
It is time
Absolutely.
for the election, almost. How's everyone feeling? Is everyone okay?
I feel like it's 10 p.m. on a Saturday night and I'm already hungover.
Okay, but I mean about the election.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. I feel like
okay.
we've been drinking for so long already, and the night's not even over.
I see. That's
we're
a
done.
good point, yeah.
I have a brown paper bag on me at all times that I can breathe slowly in and out of.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm doing.
How about you, Elise? Are you okay?
I'm actually doing just dandy.
I
see a lot of people talking about how they sort of have election fatigue, and I totally get that. I believe that that's true for some people. But I think other people just need to be honest with themselves that they fucking love it. Genuinely, let's be honest.
You can love what you do, but you can still be exhausted from it.
That's true. And I'm not saying that that's the case for everybody. I think there's a lot of people who are genuinely just done. But then I think there's another subset of people who like to say that they're done to sound like they're trendy and they're cynical and like...
What are you trying to
what
say?
I mean? But
what
really,
are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that I'm not going to be that person. I'm not done. I'm totally fine. I'm just peachy and I'm enjoying the ride.
I'm not. I'm really over it at this point. I thought the election was really going out with a whimper about a week ago before this FBI story happened. And at this point, I'm just sick of it. I really am, and I'm ready for it to be over. And since the polls are changing a little bit, I'm starting to get stressed out about it again, even though, like a week or two ago, I thought Hillary had it in the bag. You could easily argue she still does, but it's not as clear of a lead as it was a couple weeks ago.
I don't think it's the election in general that's exhausting. It's just this new group of people that have been so vocal about this election that's just been exhausting to just be listening to.
Are you referring to the alt-right and his supporters?
Yeah, the people who have never really been a part of politics before. And now they're throwing themselves in the game with all of this random shit that we never touched because it was ridiculous.
I'm also just sick of Trump attacking the media at basically every single one of his rallies. All of this. I'm just ready for it to be over. But so today we are going to have our penultimate edition of Dumpster Fire 2016, and for some fun, we're going to be playing an election prediction game, which will be a really good time because we're going to predict election stuff and then stuff about our event happening in DC on election night.
Our potential event.
Well, between the four of us.
Yeah.
Our dinner together and maybe with others. More to come.
A foursome is
later.
Not an event, Andrew.
I am not interested in having sex with any of you.
It is for me.
It's, and it's a mess.
Before we get to all that, though, how was everyone's Halloweens?
I honestly forgot it was Halloween.
You did not.
Laura,
you did not.
Stop
you
adulting.
Liars.
No. Well, okay. So I have I work super, super early. So it's not like I could actually do anything on Monday night. So yeah, I didn't do anything.
I went to Harry Potter trivia. So there was a big ass bar. I think I might have mentioned this in the show. There was a big bar that had a massive trivia contest, Halloween themed trivia contest. Harry Potter everything. It was awesome. 500 people showed up. There were 80 teams. Cool thing, they had like butterbeer and fire whiskey and candles, floating from the ceiling and shit like that.
Oh,
it was
classic.
a really cool setup. Yeah, it was awesome. But damn, it was not for amateurs. Like the questions they were asking. Okay, so here's one actually. Here's one. Let's see if you guys can get it.
Okay.
what are the net number of house points that Harry accumulated over his time at Hogwarts?
Why the fuck would I know that?
You cannot include or factor in anything gained from Quidditch or anything like that. Just like beyond Quidditch, the net number.
Okay, that's not trivia. That's algebra.
Yeah.
I mean, except not at all algebra, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I go to the shit to be entertained and not to be forced to do math.
I'll guess 220.
All right. Matt?
I don't, 8.
Wow.
All right.
Watch him be right.
I refuse to guess out of principle.
Actually, the answer is 58.
Oh, close, Matt.
I know. I knew that.
Oh, yeah.
My point being is that shit was
What was your team
hard.
name?
Oh, God. Okay, so our team name, my friend who's never read the books, chose our team name, and he called us the Butterbeers. But there were some really hilarious team names there. One of my favorites maybe, did you cast Akio? Because I've been coming to you all night.
Oh, that's a good one.
Which better have my galleons? Neville gonna give you up. The artist formerly known as Half-Blood Prince. I'm with her, Miney. For Falk's sake. Luna loved good me long time. Snape's on a plane. Neville wears Prada. Sleazy for Weasley, and Tom riddle me this. I wrote them down because I was so impressed with these names.
Yeah, these are impressive.
Yeah, they're very impressive.
Wow.
I want to make a hypeable list. 80 Harry Potter drinking game team names for you to steal.
Let's do it.
Well, that's good. It sounds like a good time. I went out on Saturday night. I didn't want to go out on Monday night because
What did you dress up
working
as?
in the morning, and I was Bowser from Mario.
Yeah.
I went to a costume store and just found that. I don't know. I just thought it would be like I liked it for some reason. I thought I'd look cool in it, so I bought that and I danced in that, and yeah, it was good.
Sweet.
What'd you do, Matt?
Well, every year I go to the Halloween parade in West Hollywood, and it's like the biggest like Halloween parade in the world. About 500,000 people show up every year. So, and what it really is they just close off Santa Monica Boulevard for about a mile, and then people just walk around in their costumes and take pictures and dance at a couple of the stages where they have like a live DJ playing music and stuff, and then
drink at all the bars.
and drink at all the bars. Like all the gay boys who've been at the gym for the past 6 months working for this one night are all like shirtless Mario and Luigi or some other shit. But me and a group of my friends, we did a squad costume this year. We all went as assorted Ghostbusters characters, and it was amazing because like all of our costumes, besides the jumper, I bought like some jumper from Dickies, but like our proton packs were just all random stuff that we found at like Goodwill, and then we just covered them with like flickering lights and stuff, and it was a huge hit. Like we had so much fun. I love going to the parade.
Cool.
Yeah, it's
I'll
just so
start
much
doing
fun.
that again next year once I live a little closer.
Yeah, you should. Well, you live pretty
Too crowded,
close. You're like 20 minutes away.
So let's move on now to oh, Laura, we forgot to mention this. I understand you get itchy when you get nervous. Is that true? Around your vagina?
No. So just to clarify, I don't get itchy around like the crotchal region. It's just like my arms mainly. So like I was telling everybody during hashing it out that when I'm nervous, I get itchy. And so on election night, I'm probably going to be scratching the shit out of myself. They thought this was hilarious that I have
You're
some
gonna look
kind
like a
of like,
monkey.
no, like I have a genuine like nervous reaction, and you're like, ah ha ha, your vagina's itchy. Fuck you guys.
Well,
It's funny when I get nervous, I grab them by the pussy with their consent, of course, but I do grab them by the pussy. So look
Yeah.
out. So let's get into Dumpster Fire 2016 for the second to last time. Wiener has threatened the Republic.
This is like the scrolling opening credits of Star Wars.
The Republic is threatened.
Princess Hillary is in distress.
Chancellor Wiener.
Darth Trump is making his rounds.
Well, unfortunately, it's kind of true. So while the FBI was investigating Anthony Weiner for allegedly sexting a minor, they found somehow new emails because Weiner used to be the husband of Huma, who, they're divorced now in light of one of the most recent scandals a couple months ago. Anyway, so the FBI, Comey, the head of the FBI, decided to release a letter saying, we did find new emails. We don't know what's in them. I haven't read the emails myself, but I wanted to let you know, Republicans, that we are looking into this. Of course, this sent everyone into a tailspin. Trump is loving it, saying, oh, the FBI isn't rigged anymore. They're super cool. I like them a lot. He didn't like them previously because they said that charges shouldn't be brought against Hillary. Now Trump loves the FBI. Hillary says there's nothing there and is actually encouraging the FBI to release the Wiener emails. Release the dick pics, she says. Not the dick pics, but his emails.
Yeah, I mean, it's very likely that the emails that they're talking about are already emails that they've seen. Like,
yeah,
they have no idea what's in them. Like, it's so fucked up how they're doing this because they're strategically doing this right before the election. It's like their last attempt to try to win the election is by this because they have no idea what's in them.
Well, this is the FBI, remember?
Yeah, this is the FBI, but the FBI, mind you, had already done this and said there was nothing there. They are doing this strictly because their party is forcing Comey to do all this.
Yeah, not to mention they had already had all of these emails several weeks ago, and they just now, a week before the election, decided to be like, oh, by the way, it's in the public's best interest to know that we're looking into these, but we don't know what they say. So yeah, the timing feels very convenient. And I think that's why a lot of people, including Harry Reid, who's like my god right now, completely tore into Comey.
Yeah. What did he say? He brought up Russia too, right? Saying they may have explosive info about Trump's ties to Russia.
Yeah, well, he basically came out and called it a partisan attack. He was like, your agency has evidence that ties Donald Trump to Russia, and yet we don't hear about that the week before the election.
Yeah.
We hear about Anthony's wiener again.
Like, we've seen it.
It would be kind of funny
rubbish
if Anthony Weiner and his dick pic scandal was responsible for bringing Hillary down. Like, it would suck big time, but like, imagine reading that in the history books. Hillary had it in the bag, and then a week and a half before the election, the FBI announced that their Weiner dick pic scandal uncovered new information about Hillary, and she fell in the polls, and President Trump won the presidency.
The FBI cocked it up.
Cock-blocked Hillary. On the other hand, if this information came out after the election, wouldn't have there been major issues? Wouldn't Trump be calling it rigged again? Wouldn't all of his followers be up in a tizzy because the FBI kept this quiet before the election?
I honestly don't even
that anyway.
Yeah, I honestly don't even think that this would have been brought up after the election.
Oh, yes. What do you mean? The FBI or Trump?
No, this
Trump
story.
brought it up.
They would not have brought it up until they had actual evidence. They're doing this strictly to keep the pot stirring against
Hillary.
Hillary.
I think that she's not even going to be in office before they are drafting articles of impeachment against her.
Yeah. It's really sad.
Yeah.
And there's a couple Republicans already saying that if Trump loses, if Hillary wins, they're still going to be blocking Supreme Court justices. It's just pathetic.
That's if they have the Senate.
Yeah, and please God, I mean, shit like this should be the only reason you need to go and vote. Because when you hear Republicans say this, that is not right.
Did you hear what the Speaker of the House said about Bernie Sanders? That completely blew up in his face.
Oh,
No.
Paul Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he said, like, we need to vote because you know what happens if the Democrats win? Bernie gets into the Senate. And
Well, Bernie's in the Senate.
I mean, it
but
becomes the head of, what is it, the Budget Committee?
I think it's the Senate Budget Committee, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that he said that, and then everybody's response to it was like, well, okay.
Well, great. Thank you for that
Cool.
info.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like on Twitter today. Hold on, I retweeted it. Let me pull it up. Scott Walker of Wisconsin. He was running for president for a little bit. He tweeted, "If you like the past 8 years, vote Hillary Clinton." And he included a picture of Obama and Hillary.
Okay.
I was like, okay. Retweeted it. It went on to get 11,000 likes, 5,500 retweets. I think that kind of backfired for him. Anyway, what else do we want to talk about here?
I think it's... Oh, go ahead.
No. I was going to switch gears a little bit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think something that's getting lost in all of this, not that this isn't important, but something that I'm not hearing anyone talk about at all is the fact that Donald Trump is actually getting ready to go to court on a number of charges, including fraud and rape.
Child rape.
Child rape, no less. Yeah. So number one, let's discuss the fraud case. Trump University has been under investigation, and there's a fraud case that's been prosecuted against Trump University and Donald Trump because a bunch of former students have gotten together and compiled a very compelling amount of evidence showing that they paid tens of thousands of dollars to Trump University for courses that ultimately had no teachers, no classes, and did not furnish any degrees. So we all know that Trump University was a complete, hack job.
Oh, yeah.
But
it was a scam.
It was a total scam, yeah. But they've pieced together all of this evidence, and so Trump has to go and face that actually just 2 weeks after Election Day. He's going to be in court testifying about, his role in Trump University and fraud. Number two, second to that, is Trump Foundation is under investigation. There's not an official case yet, but it's being criminally investigated for impropriety because there's allegations that Trump used money from Trump Foundation for himself and to settle his own personal lawsuits and to pay some of his staff.
And his
that's
painting.
not related to the foundation. Those of course don't hold a candle to the fact that he's been accused of child rape. One of his alleged victims came forward a while ago, by the way, not like recently, but a long time ago. She came forward and says that Donald Trump, along with billionaire Jeffrey Epstein, lured her and other girls into lavish parties with older men, and that he violently raped her. There's been at least one other woman who has corroborated her story, who said that she was witness to the night that it happened. And for whatever it's worth, Jeffrey Epstein, the other guy that she mentioned was involved, was in fact, back in 2014 or something, found guilty of soliciting underage prostitution. He tried to solicit a 14-year-old to have sex with him. So, that's
him trying though. Like this lawsuit is like him actually going through with it.
That's true. And so my point is that what fraud, impropriety, the child rape case, whatever it is that we're talking about, whether we have to stop and ask ourselves, why don't more people know about those things? Why is that not being covered at all? And it's so ironic to me that that the Trump narrative is that the media is out to get him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that that's at all true. I don't believe that to be true. I think if that were the case, we would have at least heard about these things.
We would have heard of a lot of stuff.
He's been given a free pass on the whole raping a 13-year-old thing.
Yeah. And what's messed up is that we've been talking about, Hillary is going to, be brought into court by Republicans for all this email stuff. Meanwhile, their candidate actually is going to court over a couple of major issues. They really want to vote that in?
Yeah, and also,
I mean, I get the position they're in, but
it's funny that Trump's continuous narrative about Hillary is that she should be put in jail, when really Trump has had so many accusations and lawsuits and that would result in him being in jail.
I just, it's so sad, this whole situation. Just another reason why I'm over all of it.
I think we, however much we are over it now, I hate to say this, guys, I don't think it's going anywhere.
No,
I think
you're right.
After Election Day, it either, at best, it stays the same, but realistically, it probably gets worse, because the odds are we'll have Hillary Clinton in the White House, and these people aren't going to disappear. Donald Trump has normalized what we previously believed to be insane rhetoric that would never pass muster. And he's given a voice to the people that we have spent generations, trying to combat, like white nationalists and just, frankly, insane people. And now they're all politically viable humans. Now they're all on news. They're being given airtime. And I don't think it's going to go away. I think after the election, we have to stop reckoning with politics and start reckoning with ourselves and what got us in this place and how we're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at what happened when Obama took office. As a result of that, I think we've seen some of the most racist rhetoric in politics that we've seen in a long time. At the very least, some of the more blatant rhetoric that we've seen in a couple of decades at least. And I think we're going to see the same kind of reaction to the first female president.
Oh, absolutely. I was just hearing that the other day on, I think it was the Samantha Bee show, where she asks, once Hillary becomes president, the person she was interviewing, do you think that the anti-feminism people will quiet down? And the woman she was interviewing said, actually, I think it's just going to get worse. It's most likely going to get worse before it gets better. And thinking about it, it does make sense.
And then there's also the issue, like, what if one of these states is really close and they get into a recount situation or something like that? I mean, Florida right now it seems very close.
Florida's always been like undecided though.
No, but Florida was running blue up until very recently. Like it was, yeah. And now all of a sudden it's back in play.
That is one of my worst fears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is how fickle
we're going to have
people can be.
A lot more of this. Welcome to Millennial. It's mid-December. The recount is just underway.
No, and
President-elect Trump.
It's not even a joke, though, because that's what happened in 2000. We had several weeks where we didn't know who our fucking president was. And I can't do this.
Exactly.
How's everyone doing this week? Well, I'm moving to Canada. Laura is moving to Mars. We haven't heard from you, Lisa, in 3 weeks.
The only reason that we ended up knowing who the president was is because we happened to have Al Gore, who ultimately took one for the proverbial team.
Yeah, he did.
And he said, listen, I think this is pretty fucked up, but I'm going to concede this, and for the sake of the country and for the sake of the safe transition of power. And that's what he did. Do any of us, even Trump supporters would admit that there's not a realistic shot in cold hell that Trump would do that. No. Not one. I mean, just today, take today as an example. Just today, he came out and said that he thinks there will, quote, probably be a constitutional crisis if Hillary Clinton wins this election. And he wasn't referring to her administration. In context, what he was talking about was her winning and then them having to recount and, go to the Supreme Court. He wants this.
Yeah.
That's what he wants
Well,
to
because
happen.
he's already really accepted that he's not going to win. So now he's going to do whatever he can to just fuck the system up more than he has already.
Guys, I don't like talking about this. This is making me uncomfortable. Let's make some predictions. What do you say?
Oh, yeah, this will be fun.
Yay!
So Laura came up with this idea. I think it was a really good idea. I mean, gosh, we've been talking about this for basically since the inception of the show.
It's going to end soon.
I feel like we're at a season finale party right now.
I know. The worst season finale party ever.
It's like the Lost finale. Sorry, too soon.
So let's start with some basic ones. Then we're gonna get into more advanced ones.
Okay.
What time will the news networks call the election?
I think when the West Coast polls close.
Yeah,
I think as soon
it'll
as they
be
close, it's going to be over.
8 p.m. West Coast time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very early. It just seems like if the polls hang how they do now, it's going to be called really early. If there's a huge gap in the electoral votes.
Oh God,
it's going to be so disappointing because I remember in 2012 it ended pretty quick.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
It was amazing how fast it was.
And, yeah, so I
Yeah.
think that's possible. How about you, Elisa? What do you think?
I think it'll be after West Coast, obviously, but I'm gonna say just around midnight, maybe slightly before midnight.
Okay.
Midnight Eastern time.
Yeah.
Midnight
Okay.
Eastern time. So like 11:45-ish is my guess.
How about,
East Coast time.
are we going to be drunk by that? What time are we getting to our party?
I think
8 o'clock.
8. Yeah, we'll
Okay,
be
so that's
drunk.
4 hours to get
It doesn't
lit.
give us much time, guys.
That's all the time we need. I can take shots like a champ.
Mm.
What time? Okay, so let's say it is noon. What time? Sorry, midnight. What time will Trump actually concede?
Never.
And I
won't.
guess extension.
No, he won't.
No, I can't believe this. I can't accept this.
No, it's absolutely going to happen. He is not going to concede. He is going to not accept defeat because he's already said it. And he got already the reaction that he wanted. So he's fucking going to do it.
Yeah.
I think the bigger question is, even if he does, will he actually call Hillary Clinton and
Yeah.
and concede? Because that's the tradition, right? The tradition is, the election's called and then the loser calls the winner to formally concede. I don't see that happening. I think if and when Trump does concede, it will be like, this election was fucked up, like whatever. It'll be some kind of like cold calculated press statement, or he'll just fly off the handle at some press conference. I don't think he has the grace to call her.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think it's going to be something like, many people are saying this was rigged. I accept it, but other people
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
Ugh.
I am the least racist person you know.
So, Andrew, speaking of the sound you're making right now, how many times will Anderson Cooper giggle throughout the night?
I heard him giggle last night and I was like, oh my God, I'm so in love with him. I think he's going to giggle a bunch of times. I hope our party has CNN with sound on because I need to hear my CNN stallions handling the whole night.
I
Wait,
can't imagine
CNN what?
Anderson.
Huh?
CNN
Stallions?
Stallions, he said.
Stallions. Yeah, I've always called them my CNN stallions. The CNN stallions are King, Cooper, and Blitzer. I may also add Dana Bash. She's really impressed me this election cycle.
What about
Anyway,
Jeffrey
what were you saying?
Toobin? Jeffrey Toobin could
Oh,
be.
fuck him.
I don't know.
He's the worst.
No, he's not. You're the worst.
Jeffrey. Oh wait. No, I'm thinking of somebody else. Sorry, I like Jeffrey Toobin.
Yeah, there
Jeffrey
you go.
Lord. That's who I'm thinking of.
I was gonna say I don't think Anderson Cooper's gonna be laughing at all. I think Anderson Cooper understands the gravity of this and will probably be looking at us in the camera, secretly trying to convince us all to build bunkers. Go home.
Yeah,
This is
I don't
not
blame
over.
him. My butthole is going to be puckered the entire evening.
Yeah.
Guys, in seriousness, I'm asking this in seriousness. What would you actually do if Trump won? Like, we haven't, I feel like we have been so blasé, understandably, because the polls are very much in her favor, even still. We've not seriously prepared ourselves for this outcome, so what would you actually do?
So I have a really convenient out. I'm actually going to Costa Rica like 3 or 4 days after the election.
and you're just gonna stay there.
So I could just stay.
But that would just
Yeah.
prolong the inevitable, Laura. Like, you don't think it's just going to stay in the U.S. That shit is going to spread. Like, the itches on your body.
First they came for the Americans. And I did
But I
nothing.
said nothing because I was not American.
Because I was not
Oh,
American. Then, but I guess you are.
Can I pause the show for a second, or
No.
not pause? Just pause what we're discussing for a second because I'm having a moment and I need to get this out because I can't handle this. Johnny Depp has been cast in the Fantastic Beasts sequel, and apparently
Ugh.
he appears in the first one. I'm having panic attacks right now about him being young Dumbledore or Grindelwald. I
Oh
would
my
fucking
god.
hate that.
Why?
I really hope that that's what happens because it would prove my point about why you don't continue shit because it's inevitable. It's inevitable that something gets fucked up. You can't continue. You can't continue something forever and have everything go perfectly.
I mean, we already got a glimpse of this with Colin Farrell being one of the main cast members.
Yeah. Well, and in the most recent trailer, there's a shot of who I am told is Grindelwald, and I'm looking at it again, and I fucking think it's Johnny Depp.
God damn it.
I think it's
Johnny
him.
Depp is going to be Grindelwald. I mean, I guess they're both kind of violent enough.
I'm over it.
Oh my god. Slow clap for Elisa right there. That was very good. Damn. Ouch.
Savage.
Okay, let's get back to this.
Maybe the casting was perfect, actually.
God. Woo! I may have to tweet that. That was rough. Okay, so anyway, back to this election. So at our event, I keep mentioning the event. We are going to be going somewhere, the four of us, and we may or may not be able to bring extra people. We will have more details, not on this episode, but online in the days ahead. Will any four of us be vomiting that night? Whether it's from nerves, whether it's from drinking too much?
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Yeah. I like how
I think
Matt
definitely
answered
I
that,
will
like,
be.
well, duh.
Yeah, like,
The last time I was together with Laura and Matt, I apparently threw up on the floor,
That's not mine.
pointed at the floor and said, "That's not mine," and then walked away. But it was clear.
well, yeah, because both of us were standing right next to you during it happening. And Laura looks like she's flabbergasted at your reaction because she says, "Dude, we just saw you throw up just now." That's not mine.
Just saying. Got
Oh.
away with it.
Oh,
And I feel
man.
like the last time the four of us were together, which was, like 5.5 years ago, I definitely think I threw up. Like 99%
Well,
sure.
Wait,
Was
what
that
was the
no?
purpose of
Okay,
this
if-
question, though? Like, it was pretty obvious.
we have to guess. All right. Who among us will actually vomit?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Laura.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
guess.
a good guess, I say.
So
I'm-
I'm planning.
Yeah.
I'm planning on drinking a lot of beer that night. But I'm good at handling my beer, I think. So long as, here's the problem. I'm gonna have a lot of beers. I'm thinking like at least 10. If we're having too much fun, I probably will throw up because I'll like lose track of how much I'm drinking. But like, so you guys, I need you guys to like steady me out. I need you guys to take care of me and make sure I don't overdrink. Okay?
Andrew,
Promise
all I
me.
care about is making you cry. And not like making you cry because you feel bad. I just love that when we're all together, especially with Elisa, you start fucking cracking up and you're crying. You've got tears running down your face. And it's
true.
It's one of my favorite things, so I can't wait for that.
I've been tearing up while recording this, actually.
Oh.
Over various things. Oh, yeah. Okay, so does anyone want to guess how many beers I will drink exactly? Because I think I'm just going to stick with beer.
I'm going to say 11.
Oh, shit. I was going to say 12.
I'm doing even 15.
Oh, gosh. Well, I'm throwing up if I do drink 15. You guys don't want that because I will be in bed the entire following day.
Nah.
I think we all will.
I don't think we'll allow that to happen.
Which of the
No, we
four millennial hosts will literally cry? And I guess I should ask if Hillary wins, but maybe if Trump wins too.
I think, Andrew, you're pretty sensitive, especially when you're intoxicated. I'm not sensitive. I would say
Laura will
emotional.
cry. Laura's gonna cry if Hillary wins.
You think I'm going to cry? Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think Laura would cry under sober circumstances.
Yeah, that's
but I
fair.
think once we pump her full of absinthe and whatever other concoction Matt has planned, she will definitely be
I
crying.
can make it happen.
Full of
Yeah.
absinthe.
I'll probably like hit the floor too and start rolling.
Well, I was just thinking you would get emotional over like the first female president, and with the beer talking, it would just be overwhelming.
I think if she were to cry, I don't think it'd be the results of the election. I think it's just the atmosphere that she's with us having this happen. Because I could just see her like saying, "You guys, I just can't tell you how amazing this is to be with you guys."
I think you overestimate what I think of you.
I don't know.
I feel like that's more something I would say.
Yep. 1,000%.
Well,
I feel like I'm the one who gets really weird and sappy.
I like it.
Yeah.
No, I'm envious. I don't even remember the last time I cried.
I think the last time I cried over something politics related was with Elisa we watched Jon Stewart's last Daily Show, and we cried.
Aww.
That's stupid.
It was stupid.
You're stupid. No,
but
it's
you can
not.
go fuck yourself.
Already there.
Oh,
guys,
okay.
I'm like actually feeling my nerves like bubble up the more that I think about the fact that we're so close.
I know. I'm gonna have to drink a lot because I'm gonna be so nervous and but I guess being in an environment surrounded by people will make it easier.
Can we Periscope our interaction that night?
Yes.
Can we just set up a live fucking feed?
Of what? Like us seeing each other for
your
the first time?
No, I don't care about that. I'm saying, can we Periscope the four of us out at our shindig, at our election night watch party? Just like set it up like in the corner by the table and just have it like on us the whole time.
Yeah.
You can tune in, tune out.
Well,
and
yeah, let's do Facebook Live.
Cool.
There you
Yeah,
go.
People can easily watch.
I'll let you guys handle that.
Okay. We'll put you in charge of something else.
Matt will ham it up is the thing. If Matt knows he's on camera, he's gonna start like
Is that really how you
Preening?
think of me?
Yes.
You're gonna preen a little bit, like your hair, like looking.
Fuck you. Okay, if I see myself in a mirror or something, I'm not just gonna ignore it. I'm gonna fix the imperfections.
I know.
This is from, we asked on Twitter if anybody had any suggestions for things for us to predict. Nassim says, if Hillary wins, will Bill interact with the balloons?
Absolutely.
Like he did at the DNC, yeah? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely
I
will.
love balloons.
They only let Bill out now to play with the balloons.
Exactly.
I could watch that shit for hours.
How about, this is from Megan, will McMullen take Utah from Trump? This is one of the things she asked. So McMullen is the guy, what party is he running?
Isn't he
in?
He's running as an independent.
Yeah.
But he is traditionally conservative.
And Utah really likes him because he's Mormon. And he's kind of doing very well against Trump in Utah. So I would love that if he took Utah, because that just shows you how much a certain group of people hate Trump to let a third party take a state.
Speaking of which,
That would be a really big deal.
I read recently that John Kasich is voting for John McCain.
Yes,
What?
that actually happened
For
within the past day or two.
President?
For president.
Yeah, a write-in. But apparently it's not even valid. But he's doing it
Okay.
anyway.
I want to say really quickly about McMullen. He actually has kind of a brilliant strategy. It's not going to work, but it's kind of brilliant. The thinking behind this is that he's not just running in Utah, he's on the ballot in a few other states. And his thinking was if he can win Utah and a couple of other states and create like a stalemate in the Electoral College, so you have to get to 270, right? If he can prevent it that neither Trump or Clinton gets to 270, then guess who decides ultimately who the president is? The House of Representatives.
Mm-hmm.
And so if he can do that, prevent either candidate from getting 270 electoral votes the normal way, goes to the House. House doesn't like Trump that much. House really hates Clinton. Now you have McMullen.
Yeah.
That's his plan. It's not going to work, but it's kind of hysterical and brilliant.
God, I hope not.
Here's another one. Will the Dems win the Senate? Please, God, yes.
I think so. I think it might be a narrower win than what we were hoping for. But I think they will.
Just going to bring up the most recent polling here. I know there is a good chance right now, according to the New York Times at least. Their Senate forecast says Democrats have a 59% chance currently. Republicans 41%. So that would be great.
Yeah, we might see might see them actually do something now.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We could maybe get our Supreme Court justice that we've needed for months. That'd be nice.
Yep.
Will Laura or Elisa hit on a stranger at the bar we're at? What do you say, ladies?
Yes and yes.
Not Matter-Eye,
Yeah,
but somebody
like,
else. Maybe a good-looking Anderson Cooper type, maybe.
Or just Anderson Cooper.
Or just anyone.
Oh, guys.
I mean someone at the bar.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, come on. Have you been out with me?
not in a
I guess
while.
not recently, because
Okay.
definitely not recently.
All right. Well, we'll fix that.
Okay. Well, I'll probably also hit on guys with you. So
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
fucking people.
Can
in
you
the
be
back.
my wingman?
sure, yeah, I can do that for you.
Cool. I appreciate it.
Elisa,
Elisa,
you and I are just
I'm-
hanging out.
Smoke, do
No,
you?
Elisa and I are hanging out.
What?
You guys try to get.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Get your poontang.
I was gonna say, Elisa, can I kick you out of your apartment for maybe 45 minutes?
So you can
Depending
suck
on
coffee.
how things go for me.
No,
45 minutes.
no,
Who are
but
you
what
kidding?
I will give you my room to use if I can stand on the other side and periscope it.
Ew.
Done. Done and done.
I'll be in the room
creepy.
giving positive feedback.
That'll be part of that. You go, champ.
You could do it. Work
Get 'em.
those balls.
Nice job.
Okay, calm down,
Look
calm
at
down.
you go.
Take it down a notch.
We're gonna this is gonna be part of the Facebook live feed.
And
So
before
this
we
is
get
what
to a
Elisa's
serious,
most excited about, by the way.
I've got two more questions. Well, one's kind of like a multi-part question, but second to last question: how expensive will our Uber home be?
Well, because we're probably going to stop somewhere for drunk food.
Oh God, yes.
And then
Yes.
we're probably going to get lost. because we're not
And there's
going
to be a surge.
Yeah, we're not going to know. Yeah, I'm going to guess $80.
You know, I'm gonna
all
guess.
said and done.
I'm gonna guess we're gonna be out so late that the surge phase will be over with, and
And
it
we'll
will
just
be
take
morning.
the metro.
It'll just
Not if Laura or I have anything to do with it.
That's right.
Yeah, you guys
I'm
are
in bed by
you guys are
1 at the
prudes.
latest.
You guys can Periscope Andrew and I sleeping.
No.
This is the most Periscope mentions I have ever heard in my entire life. Is this like a thing now?
Well, Vine's dead, so.
Yeah, we have to move on.
Mm-hmm.
What is Vine?
Exactly.
Oh, man, stop. Okay, swing state predictions. I wanted to go with I picked 4 states who seem to be the biggest swing states right now in terms of how close they are. First of all, we mentioned earlier, Florida. Who's gonna win Florida, Laura?
Hillary.
Wishful thinking, or
No, I think narrowly, but I think she will take it.
narrowly enough that there's not going to be any recount bullshit or anything like that?
I can't speak to that particular eventuality, but I do think that she will carry it.
Okay. I'm going to say Trump takes Florida.
Oh, shit.
Why would you say that?
Well, I don't want it to happen, but the people I know in Florida, they're voting Trump, so.
I'm gonna agree with Laura. I think it's gonna be very close, but I do think Hillary's gonna win Florida.
Okay.
I do too. I think it'll be narrow, but if for no other reason, then she basically lives there now. Every campaign stop she's had for like the past week has been in Florida. You know, her whole schedule's in Florida. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is kind of touring the whole country.
Yeah.
I think her ground game is on point in that state. So I think she'll take it by a narrow margin.
Also, just another sad reminder that Hillary has this great ground game, these great people supporting her, these great surrogates, lots of money, and yet, this damn election is still close. It's disgusting. Okay, well, on that depressing note, how about Ohio?
I think it's going to go Trump.
Yeah. Kasich doesn't want Trump, but the rest of his state does.
Yep.
I don't
I hate to say it.
know anything about Ohio.
It's better that way.
There used to be a SeaWorld there, I can tell you that. I went to it.
Yeah, I agree. I think Trump.
How about North Carolina?
Clinton.
Yeah, I think so too. I get that sense.
Yeah.
I think so as well, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than we've seen in recent elections. I think she's going to get by the skin of her teeth.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's probably going to be closer than Florida, to be honest with you.
I was thinking the same, or at least on par. I think North Carolina and Florida are both going to be nail biters. They will be what gets Andrew from the 11th to the 12th beer and has me win that bet. He'll be like, fuck North Carolina, I need another drink.
Yep. And then you're going to be like, fuck, we just closed East Coast polls. We have another 2.5 hours of this bullshit.
No, I need to pace myself and have water. I should be all right. I'm going to drink water too.
Andrew's like planning out his drink schedule a fucking week in advance.
I don't want to get sick. I don't want to feel like shit.
Andrew,
I don't want to drink too much.
You need to stop telling us what your game plan is, because we're just gonna fuck it up for you.
You're talking to yourself. You're like, no, guys, I'm
gonna do this. I'm gonna drink some water. I'm gonna measure how much I've drank. I'm gonna drink 3 glasses of water per beer. That's my limit.
Just be careful. Matt's going to spike one of those waters.
Yeah, with vodka or something. Yeah, stop. This is your fault.
We have one more state here. Pennsylvania. Hillary's got that, right?
Yeah. I'm going to say that'll be solid Clinton.
Yeah.
Not landslide, but solid.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to be a landslide for Clinton?
Nothing.
What?
California.
Yeah, California.
That's true.
The entire West Coast. New York. Virginia. New Mexico.
I think she takes Nevada. She's going to take Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, there's our prediction game. I'm still reeling from this Johnny Depp news. I'm sorry. So we are trying to put something together for select listeners to attend. It's going to be very small. I'm going to say that right now. We will, if it happens, we will be posting more details on our Facebook page, Facebook group, and on Twitter. So stay tuned for that. We'll let you know whether or not it's going to happen, since we've already been telling people, something could happen.
Prepare to be disappointed. Either way.
Oh, Laura. Either way.
You should always be prepared to be disappointed with us.
Yeah.
So, Laura, with this being our farewell party in many ways, knock on wood, please let this be the end. You put together something special for us.
I did. I grabbed some of the best moments from the past couple of years of this campaign and put them all together for a special little goodbye clip, hopefully to play us out of the election.
Okay.
So enjoy.
I think the next president needs to be a lot quieter, but send a signal that we're prepared to act in the national security interests of this country, to get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
The American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails.
Thank you. Me too.
Another youngster angered me, and I had a large camping knife, and I tried to stab him in the abdomen. And fortunately, he had on a large metal belt buckle under his clothing, and a knife blade struck with such force that it broke, and he fled in terror.
Oh, look at my African American over here. Look at him.
I stood up against the behaviors of the banks when I was a senator. I called them out.
Secretary Clinton called them out. Oh, my goodness. They must have been really crushed by this.
And let's dispel once and for all with this fiction that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Don't worry about it, little Marco. I will.
All right, well, let's hear Big Don.
Which enemy are you most proud of?
I'd have to say the enemy soldier that threw the grenade that wounded me, but he's not around right now to talk to.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
I declare, I'm not going to pay for that fucking wall.
Let's dispel with this fiction that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing.
The Glass-Steagall was my very first vote. I just arrived. My dad had died in office. I was appointed to the office. It was my very first vote.
Are you saying you didn't know what you were voting for?
I just arrived at Senate.
You could see there was blood coming out of her eyes. Blood coming out of her wherever.
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump! Yes! Mr. Trump! We love you! We love you! All the way to the White House!
Listen, I just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people.
Okay. Is it working?
Here's the bottom line. This notion that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing is just not true.
There it is.
He knows exactly
there it is,
what he's
the memorized 25-second speech.
Well, that's the reason
everybody.
why this campaign is so important.
He hit my hands. Nobody has ever hit my hands. I've never heard of this one. Look at those hands. Are they small hands? And he referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee it. All right. Okay.
Man for whom a term was coined for copulating with a rodent. Well, let me be clear. Donald Trump may be a rat, but I have no desire to copulate with him.
I will release my tax returns against my lawyer's wishes when she releases her 33,000 emails that have been deleted.
I think Donald just criticized me for preparing for this debate. And yes, I did. And you know what else I prepared for? I prepared to be president.
Wow.
Mic drop.
Good job, Laura.
Thank you.
Don't tell me you edited every single one of those sniffs.
I did.
Oh my god.
No, you
did not.
What?
Laura.
I thought maybe you pulled it from a wheel or something. A reel.
No, so I found a couple of different reels that I used to piece together.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was mostly me.
Congrats.
I can't
That's
believe
amazing.
how much he sniffed.
Yep.
Some
That's
nice
crazy.
cocaine.
Oh, that was good. I thought that was fair. Hillary's definitely had some bad moments along the way, as has Trump, of course.
Let's be honest, it was pretty partisan.
Well, but I mean, listening back to that pandering thing from Hillary, that was pretty bad.
That was cringeworthy. But like in retrospect, like how many cringeworthy things has Trump said? Like people say that Trump doesn't know what he's talking about. He knows exactly what he's talking about.
Thank you, Marco Rubio. Yeah, I have to say I had a shit ton more clips, but I had to really pick and choose what went in there because otherwise the damn thing was going to be 45 minutes long.
I would have been okay with that. I would have hung around for a whole episode of just that. I was dying. Oh my god, I forgot how fucking hilarious it was at the beginning.
Yeah. So, this episode has been heavy on politics, but we did want to talk about one other story that it has been getting a lot of attention recently, and we'll talk about one angle of that, something that happened on Monday. Elisa, what do you want to talk about?
So there's been a little bit more, as you said, in the news about what's happening with the North Dakota Access Pipeline. And we talked about this on the show once, probably, goodness, a few weeks ago at least, when it first started. It's still happening. There are still protesters, predominantly comprised of I'm still going to butcher this name and I'm so sorry. I think it's the Sioux, Native American tribe. And it's happening in Standing Rock. So before what we reported is that the reason that they were protesting is because this pipeline that would go all the way from North Dakota down to the Gulf would potentially interfere with the Native American tribe's only source of water, and that they were protesting it for that reason. But there's also more to it than that that's come to light in recent weeks. There's also the fact that it would be going through their sovereign land, and that they, in theory, and should technically have sovereignty and control over. But in addition to that, there's been a lot of uproar over how the protesters have been handled. So there's been reports recently that some of the protesters are being locked up, that they're being literally labeled with numbers and put in some cases, prison cells, in other cases, dog cages, that the police has been completely militarized. A lot of the pictures and video that's come out has been a little horrifying to see, because you have actual military tanks on this Native American reservation trying to get the protesters to move so that they can continue building the pipeline. The visuals alone have been very jarring, and what happened most recently, just in the past couple of days, people started checking in to Standing Rock, North Dakota, because there were allegations that those very police were using check-ins to kind of figure out where protesters were, to track the protesters, and to disrupt their protests. And so the idea was, if everyone checks in, like hundreds or thousands of people from around the country, they'll be much harder to track on social media. And I noticed that some of us did that. So I wanted to talk about it. I thought it was a good way to reintroduce what the hell is happening over there, because even though it's picked up a little bit in terms of the news cycle, still shockingly little being discussed.
Yeah, in fact, I would say social media is where I've exclusively seen this story.
Mm-hmm.
Even before the Facebook check-ins, I was only seeing it being spread around by, friends and other like-minded individuals on Facebook. I don't think I've ever actually seen a legitimate news report on this story.
No.
But what I love about the whole check-in thing is that it does a couple of things. One, it definitely makes it harder for any agencies who are trying to track people based on those check-ins. So you're actually helping in a very tangible way. But two, you're also raising awareness, which I absolutely love. I actually had a couple of people that I'm not super close with message me on Facebook and be like, "Are you okay?" after I checked in there. And apparently a lot of other people have been having similar reactions from friends and family they're not as close with, thinking that they're actually there. So I think kind of inserting that personal element, making people think that you're there in the middle of it, is actually getting them to check it out a little bit more.
Yeah. And you couldn't avoid it in your Facebook feed on Monday.
No.
I saw multiple people do it, Laura included, and it did make you think. It made you wonder. So yeah, I thought that was smart, and I liked how it was kind of throwing off police as well. So.
That's cool.
So there's a couple of, I wanted to say, first of all, a couple of things, one important thing to know anyway about this pipeline, that just came to light recently in the past 2 weeks. Apparently the pipeline was already moved once. A different community protested its placement as being too near, their residence. And so it was moved by a few miles to avoid that. And that community was just a run-of-the-mill, I don't know how else to put this. It was a white community, like, American U.S. citizen, white community. And it was moved for them because they protested and, spoke out against it. So it was moved once. It can be moved again. Mm-hmm. I think that's the big, that piece of information is important. If they were willing to work around one community, they should for sure be willing to work around another, particularly given this is a Native American tribe. It's their only source of clean water. To me, this is a no-brainer. A couple of things you can do if you want to help aside from checking in on Facebook. You can call North Dakota's governor. Leave him a message and tell him how you feel about it. He has some measure of power over this. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Jack Dalrymple? I don't fucking know. 701-328-2200. That's his phone number. Give him a call. There's also a White House petition that you can sign. Obviously, if it gets enough signatures, they'll have to respond. You can donate to the Standing Rock Sioux tribe to support their protests. I think that's great. I'll include a link to that in the show notes. And last but not least, you can call the White House and the Army Corps of Engineers Permit Department, because this is important to know. The Army Corps of Engineers Permit Department has complete authority over what happens here. They're the ones who technically have the control to grant access to that land, because it is federal reservation land. They have the authority to grant the permit and to rescind the permit. You can call them. I'll include that number in the show notes as well. But yeah, I think those are some great tangible things you can do to help out. Some of them are really fucking easy. Mm-hmm. So do it.
What is the importance of this pipeline to begin with? Like, why can't they just not continue doing it?
Well, the pipeline connects to, up in North Dakota, a really large reservoir of shoal oil that is very dirty oil, by the way, but that's a whole different subject. And they're trying to get the oil basically from the north end of the country to the south end. They're trying to get it to the Gulf, because that's where, as we all know, a lot of oil is processed, is around the Gulf of Mexico. That's where a lot of oil companies are based. So they're trying to get the crude oil up north down south so it can be processed and sold. And one of the safer ways to do that, to be fair, is a pipeline. Otherwise, it has to be transported through train, or through the highway, and there's been lots of accidents and spills like that. So no one I don't think is saying no pipeline, period. I think people are saying that this Native American tribe deserves a hell of a lot more respect than this.
Right. Don't build it in the middle of their burial grounds.
Yeah,
Right.
we all seen Poltergeist. Doesn't end well.
Step one, don't repeat, 17th century history.
And on a whole, this has been a good education lesson on Native Americans, many of whom still inhabit America. I mean, it's, you kind of forget sometimes, but now they're in the national spotlight because of this pipeline. And I think it's a good learning lesson for everybody about what's still going on in this country. It's easy to forget.
Mm-hmm.
So that is today's episode of Millennial. Just think, everyone, next time you hear us coming through episode 242, we will hopefully know who the next president of the United States will be.
Or the next dictator.
The last president of the United States. The next and the last. The final.
Coming up on After Dark today, since we're all seeing each other for the first time in a while, we're going to be talking about our trip plans and how we're all going to screw with each other. Hopefully nothing dangerous. Matt.
No promise.
And we are also going to be, by the way, recording lots of bonus content for our patrons. So now's a good time to sign up. We are getting close to our next milestone, so we would appreciate your support. And we're going to be having a lot of fun together, and I'm sure some embarrassing stuff will be going up over on our Patreon.
Definitely.
It'll be interesting because it'll be the first time we're together since starting this podcast.
Well, it's the first time we've all been together since 2010.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
It's been many minutes. I've seen Laura and Matt. I haven't seen Elisa since 2010. Anyway, we'll talk about all this on After Dark. What should our closing song be? Maybe our dumpster fire song again? I think that could be appropriate.
It's pretty appropriate.
Yeah, go for it. But you should sing it, Andrew.
Oh, I will happily do that. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I'm Andrew.
I'm Elisa.
I'm Laura.
And I'm Matt.
Okay.
Goodbye, America.
Next time during our Dictator Trump Spectacular. Goodbye.
Good night and good luck.
Oh.
Wow.
That sounded not right.
I was coming. I wasn't singing. I was thinking about a Hillary presidency.
God.
It got me aroused.
My God.
I would sign up for Patreon if one of the tiers let me hear you do that every week.
I'll do that every fucking week.
I've heard it.
Oh, God.